Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, guys. Today, we are getting down to the
Mhm.
brass taxes. We're putting the pen to paper. I'm telling you my exact plan on how I'm buying this almost 7% dividend yielding, dividend growing stock because I've had enough of what's been going on with the stock price.
That's right. But before we do, smash that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Lanny, you know what? Let's get this video to 400 likes. Keep that coffee mug up there because if we get this video to 400 likes, we're going to send a coffee mug out to one lucky subscriber ahead of the holiday season. So help your boys out, everybody. Let's freaking go. Come on. Dividend diplomat style. Let's talk about a stock and let's hear about your strategy, Chico.
Guys, don't forget to comment and subscribe because if you comment, that's actually how we'll be able to pick the winner
That's fair.
of the
That's
mug
fair.
or
Yes.
the other swag.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. So what is going on here, Lanny? Let's just take a look at the S&P 500. We're recording this on Sunday, the 26th. So the S&P 500 at the moment is above 4,500 to 45.59 to close out. The market has just been on a tear in November after a terrible October. All those losses were just gained right back. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody thinks the Fed's over, rates will come down or stay flat for a very short period of time. The pricing in rate cuts now earlier than what they expected. Maybe end of Q1 of 24. Maybe we'll see two cuts by midsummer next year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I ain't buying it, but I ain't paying attention to it because we're here to buy dividend stocks, guys. And there's a certain dividend stock. Gosh, it's also been stubborn, just like the S&P 500 has, right? As dividend investors, we like prices when they come down. We like to buy things on a discount. We're frugal people, with the everyday spending, but we're also frugal dividend stock shoppers, right, Bert?
It's also stubborn like the person that's been buying this stock in 2023.
Hey,
That's
you
worth
talking to
noting.
me? Are
I
you
am
talking to me? I
I
don't
am
see nobody
talking
else.
I am talking to you. I'm talking to you, your Uncle Tony. I'm talking to your cousin Giuseppe. I'm talking to the full Italian crew over there. We're talking to them all. But yes, that's really the point. We when we review stocks, we find the metrics we like. We do it in a very systematic way where when it hits the metrics, we don't think about it, we buy there. And that's exactly what we're going to do when we're talking about this stock. We're going to run them through our screener, which has three metrics: the PE ratio less than the S&P 500, payout ratio less than 60%, history of increasing those dividends, and that bonus metric, the dividend yield. Lanny, why don't we tell the viewers out there what stock are we talking about?
Guys, we're talking about Main Street Capital, ticker symbol Main. Main, gosh dang it, Bert, why isn't that in your stock portfolio? Again, another one with the name, but Main stock, guys. Now, if you haven't caught some of my earlier videos, that we put out here on the Diplomats channel, guys, I finally started buying Main Street. We've talked about it. We wrote about it on the blog. Finally, I took the plunge. I started buying them in the probably 37 to 39 and change range. Um, and then the stock price now is at 41.28. Not only did they, yeah, broke through 40, they broke through 41. They're actually up 9% in the last month. So dating back to about October 26th, October 27th to now, they're up 9%. They're up almost 12% this year. They're up, I guess you can argue, they're for some reason, I don't know, this happens a lot to us dividend investors, right? We start buying it and then they go up and you go, dang it, I wish I would have bought more. We talked about that. Bert and I talked about when they're at your price point, don't be stubborn, just buy them. And this is one of those stocks right now that we were stubborn on that produced that video. All right, you're cutting. My blood is boiling right now. So Bert, just take the mic right now.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting here. Do we want to talk about the Browns, Lanny? um, Yeah, we were just before we were recording. I got Lanny's blood boiling because I brought up the Browns for a second time, and that game was incredibly frustrating. But what I was going to say about Main Street, it's been a very noisy year when you look at the stock chart. Like to your point, Lanny, sure, the stock is up 12% year to date. It is up 9% over the last year. But you look at it, it's not just a slow and steady climb. It kind of looks like a heartbeat on the thing. It's just going up, down, up, down. Like there are a few ups and downs, and that's what makes this stock so fascinating and so interesting. It seems as the economic news and positive signs come out, stock price jumps up. When the negative news comes out, the stock reacts negatively, swinging in the other direction, and it comes down too. So that's what makes buying this fun, Lanny. And how many shares have you amassed so far in 2023 as you built this position?
I don't have that many shares. I've got 23.092 to be exact. I've invested 900 of my own dollars so far into Maine. And the reason why we're doing this video, guys, is because I did just put in another 100 on Maine last week during the week of November 20th. And it got me thinking, do I just start buying Maine every week a little bit at a certain price and then maybe set up other, not just call them limit orders, but other price tranches. If they ever enter this territory, do X. This territory, do Y. Oh, this territory, do Z.
I like it. And with this, as we go into and we start talking about those tranches, you have about what $950 as the market value, 953 when you take the share price of 41.28. Do you have a target market value? Do you have a target number of shares that you eventually want to get to that is a full boat position in Main Capital as you're doing this strategy, or you just
Full,
want to keep buying?
full boat with ladies doing the paddling. Yeah, I think the goal for me always is like, let me get to that 100 shares, which is around at this point would be around 4,000. If I had 4,000 invested in a Maine, whichever comes first, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Just to have that nice solid position, where again, it gives us the opportunity, as Bert and I have talked about, to write options if and when we want to.
So your goal is to get to 100 shares, Lanny. I dig it. Lanny, let's kick this one off. Let's go through the metrics quickly so we can talk about your strategy.
All right, let's kick it off. We'll rip through it really quick. Maine, ticker symbol, Maine, $41.28, up again a ton, in the last, I guess, what are we in? We're in end of November, almost 11 months, up 11%, almost 12% this year. EPS right now, annualizing out their last earnings release for net investment income, looks like $4.09. That leads to a price to earnings ratio of 10. Very undervalued, Bert. Now, I want you to take away with the dividend here because they pay monthly. Just remember, guys, Main Street Capital pays a monthly dividend. So, Bert, they pay 24 cents per month. So what's this payout ratio looking like?
Annual dividend without special dividends is $2.88. That's the regular dividend because, again, can't rely on the special dividends. Although, side note, sidebar here, if there is a company that you can really kind of factor in special dividends for, it's Main Capital. That's part of what they do. But we're going to keep them out for the purposes of calculating the payout ratio and the yield because it's never guaranteed. The annual dividend is $2.88 at a payout ratio of 70.42%. Lenny, you want to tell the community why you're not necessarily concerned about the payout ratio of 70% for Main Capital?
I'm not. They distribute it out. I mean, that's what their goal is, right? Is to distribute as much back to the shareholders. And 70% without the special dividend, to me, is fairly safe. It's kind of similar to the REIT standpoint for these business development companies or BDCs. So they pay this, and then hey, they kind of look at what other room that they have, and then they pay those special dividends. Sometimes they do. Most of the time they do, and sometimes there might be even more than one during the year. So you gotta love that.
Yeah, we freaking love it. So their 5-year dividend growth rate, again, without special dividends, their 5-year dividend growth rate is 4.26%. And how many years did they increase that dividend? It's a little foggy here because you factor in all the increases and decreases that come with the special dividend. You back that out. You kind of go through the recurring, and that gives you what? Dividend increases consistently for
all
three
the
plus
time.
years. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I would say, if you actually look at the annual dividend every 12 months, Bert, again, I would say they've been increasing the dividend since they've been public.
mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it. So let's move on. Let's talk about that dividend yield here. What is that dividend yield, Chico?
Hey, yo, Bambino, let's get into it. 6.98%. Now, keep in mind, though, on the yield front, um, that you'll probably pay an ordinary income tax rate on this income because it's not a qualified dividend. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, that is a big point to make here. So those are the metrics here for Maine again. PE ratio of 10, payout ratio of 70%, 5-year growth rate of 4.26. They have a history of increasing the dividend, a trend up, although there's not a consecutive number of years, with a yield of nearly 7%. Okay, Maine Capital, Lanny, strategy. Drop some knowledge on the people
Oh,
about your strategy.
see, we love not only talking about dividend stocks and how we're doing it, what we're buying, but here comes a little bit of my philosophy with Maine. Obviously, it's not going to be a large component of the portfolio. Obviously, we have this goal in our house to get to this 100 shares. Kind of Bert's doing it. He's got the J&J cross. He's got the SEHD. So here we are with Maine, guys. So I will try to buy $50 a week if the yield is at 7%, which it's pretty much there. Now, if the stock price drops down to $40 or below, so say if I happen to check in on Maine and I see it at 39.80, I'm going to drop $250. Boom. So
Okay.
even if I already put the 50 bucks in on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then that stock price drops later on that day or during the week, I'll drop 250 more dollars that I have ready for it. Now, if it drops though below 39.50, I'll probably drop 350. Sounds right.
Okay.
So 38.50 to 39.50, that range, I'll drop another 350. Yes, I'm overcomplicating the hell out of this.
Eh.
Now, if it drops below 38.50, I'm putting a hammer down at 500.
Boom. Okay. So let's summarize that there. You're gonna be buying $50 a week. If it falls into the range of 39.50 to 40, you're gonna be buying $250. That is a 3.2% drop at the high end of the range there. So you're really not that far off to hit that $40 per share. If it falls in the range of 38.50 to 39.50, you're putting in another $350. Guess what? That is only a 4.51% drop to get to that top end of the range. Then if it drops below 38.50, you're putting in another $500. So you could potentially, if the stock price falls 7.22% to get to that 38.5, you could dollar cost average your way to another $1,000 of Maine capital right there. Did I catch that correctly, Lanny?
You got it. No, I mean, that's the goal right there. That
Yeah.
those are the thresholds. If I see it happen, that's what I'm doing. So I'm telling you what I'm doing. We'll see how it obviously works out. Not professional advice, but I'm trying to at least set myself up with a good
Yeah.
plan to buy main shares.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, I love it. Just get money off the sidelines into the market, start increasing that dividend income and really juicing things up on your journey to financial freedom. We freaking love it. So, everybody, what do you think of Lanny's plan there? Are you buying Main Capital? Are you buying the 7% yielding company right now? What's it all about here?
Hey guys, let us know what you think of the strategy, how you would change it up. Are you buying Main Street regardless of the price? Unlike me, what other stocks are you guys buying this week as we close out November and head into December? Because winter is coming. And Bert, wait, don't forget the community's got to like, subscribe, and comment. Let's get this to 400 likes because you can get yourself some DD swag. Bro, show off that nice crew, that nice hooded sweatshirt you got there.
All right, give me a second. Yep,
Boom.
heads a little bit. We got our decapitated logo here just because of the way I'm holding it, but nope, there they are. There are the heads there. So, all right, everybody, just make sure you enter that contest and leave that comment down there below.
Thanks for rocking with us, guys. Keep saving, keep investing. And Bert, is there something I'm forgetting?
I think there is something you're forgetting. I think there is. Hmm.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack. That was Bert the Hurt. and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.